Well, hello. Welcome to my dungeon. This is Dizzy Strings Studio. As you can see, it's a music studio. Usually I build guitars, I build stuff for the movies and all kinds of crazy shit. It all happens right here. Not all of it, but what I do in my private life happens here. So which is my music, my guitars and all kinds of crazy stuff. But today we're going to talk about motorcycles. Motorcycles have been my passion ever since I was a little kid. I always enjoyed riding motorcycles since I first tried it as a little kid, and then I didn't quite have the means to do it. I suppressed everything down, came back up, stronger than ever. It's here to stay. I love it. I used to dirt bike with my kid all the time for like 6 years or so, 7 years. Now I got into long distance riding. I enjoyed that also like a lot. I just didn't have a bike or the means to do it, and the time was a bit of a problem too. Now I managed to pull it off, so here we go. We're gonna make a little video about it. I've never done a video like this, but I hope you guys like it, and maybe we do more, maybe we don't, but I'm definitely doing more riding, I know that. So in today's video, I guess we're gonna talk about my Saddle Sore 1000 adventure. I've done a huge trip in the summer, in August. I went from Cobourg, Ontario, where I live now, to Sturgis, South Dakota. I wanted to see the biggest motorcycle rally of all times ever since I was a kid. That's what I do. I have a dream, I go for it, I try to make it happen. I'm patient, I wait, and when I have a chance, I'm gonna give it my all. And so on the way to Sturgis, I thought I'm gonna attempt also Saddle Sore 1000. Might as well, right? So yeah, this is gonna be a video about it, so maybe let's just get right to it. I'm gonna make a little commentary along the way. I'll see how I can mix it all together. We'll try to make it happen, and let's get right to it. Well, hello. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm doing a Saddle Sore 1000. I'm going out now just to fill up my gas can, because I'm taking a gas can just in case, you never know. It's my rig. Okay, here we are, getting gas for the first time. This is going to be the start of this operation. It is kind of fun to see the video again. It brings me right there. I was really like, I was feeling it. I was kind of a little bit scared. I never done such a thing. I didn't know. I know there's vast places in the States where there's like absolutely nothing going on. And by the way, here, right away, I left my card in the machine. So I didn't really know what the hell was going on. I thought, oh no, problems already on the first pump. Check it out. It is very hot out here. It's freaking nuts. It's like 3 in the morning and it must be close to 30. Freaking bug wanted to come. Card was still in the machine actually. I was a little bit out of myself. It was 3 in the morning. I got like, I don't know, 4 hours of sleep. under 30 degrees is 30 degrees Celsius is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It was 3 in the morning and it was about that. And if you look closely, you can see actually bugs flying around everywhere, which is Canada for you, my people. Either bugs or cold. That's what you get. By this time my transaction was cancelled. I figured out how I left the card in there. I just wanted to make a little note of that. And every little thing right like that, actually then after I was doing pretty good. I wasn't making a lot of mistakes. And I was like, I knew I'd have time to like have decent stops, have my brakes seat a little bit. But I was a bit nervous in the beginning. But once you get rolling on a motorcycle, then all the worries disappear with the wind. Okay, now I pulled my card out. But anyway, the idea is you get gas, you take a picture of your receipt on every gas stop,
problems on the first pump already.
and submit everything. Then you submit everything to this organization called Iron Butt Association, and it's the world's toughest riders. And they have a whole bunch of challenges like that. It's pushing it, I'm telling you, it's pushing it. 1,000 miles in one day, it's not for everybody. If you're not in decent physical shape, I don't know if you can do it. But at this time, I gotta say also my motorcycle, it was a 96 Harley Davidson FXDL lowrider, a little bit custom and comfortable like hell, I can't explain. I had zero pain. After 1,000 miles I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it, I don't have any pain at all. I could have rode more, honestly. I had a lack of sleep. So here I'm adding a little bit. From time to time I add in this bike, because it's a bit older, I add a little bit of upper piston lubricant. I find it just helps it run a little smoother. I don't do it every tank, just from time to time. And then yeah, like everybody else says in this saddle sore advice, right? It's nice to have everything ready. It's nice to have your food, some snacks, right? Some granola bars, some drinks. It was so hot. I had drinks with me, but because it was so hot, I preferred to I went into the gas station, grabbed a little drink. Like I said, I was doing good on time. I was able to have little stops and little whatnots. Go to the toilet, have a break, smoke. Whatever is your thing. And my bike was set up super comfy. I had enough shit behind me so I could lean back a little bit if I wanted. And then what I do with my feet, I have forward controls only on this bike, which I don't know, I think I'm gonna try to get mid controls if I'll be riding this bike more. This particular bike more. And because
this
I only
route
have
avoids
forward
road
controls,
closures on Ontario 401 Express. You are on the best route. You should reach your destination by 5:09 a.m.
Sometimes I rest my foot on the primary, so that way I can break up
taking the
my
first
position
picture
a
of the
little bit.
receipt.
Because that's a big thing, on a long ride. It's a big thing on a long ride.
It's my starting point,
You want to be able
313.
to move around.
Take two just in case. save all the receipts, all of them. Okay, doesn't matter, you'll sort them later. And put a little bit of milk.
So my goal was to leave by
Action,
2:30.
folk action.
I was almost an hour late because I was finagling so much. I wanted to leave 2:30 and I left 3:13 as you saw over there, so that was my start time. I had to finish before 3:13 next morning. And ideal is the earlier you leave, the better, I'm telling you people, because by the time it gets sunlight, you're already a huge bunch of way behind you, right? And you're just like waking up. You're like getting into the day. There's my potato. I got nice fishtails on that bike, I love it. There we go, on the highway. Off I go into the night. At that point it was a little bit surreal to me. I tried to talk a little bit while recording, but it was so windy and stuff. And I don't have a setup for my mic. Just the sheer joy and unbelievable like feelings that I had at that point. Over there I was an hour late. I had to take my time, I don't care. You know, first stop, first gas. Well, I split my way, like I find it's kind of nice to stop every 200 kilometers, 120 miles. So when I travel on a motorcycle, I split my road like that. I kind of look for the next gas station 200 kilometers away in the direction I want to go, right? Here I had everything planned. I have every gas station in my GPS. So that took some stress off of it. And of course again.
Okay, people. Here I am, my first stop. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I've been riding for about a little less than 2 hours. We're making decent time so far. Can't complain. Let's keep this a little bit. Of course it's not working. Goddamn.
Of course it's not working.
Okay, we're just gonna back up to the last pump.
It's no big deal, right, if you don't take it too hard.
Okay. Doing my first stop. About 200 kilometers. I'm ready to do it, but I am a little late. It's not bad. I'm making up some time when I'm on the highway. So 200 kilometers, 120 miles about. I decided the first stop I'm gonna take a little break, have a smoke and finish my smoothie. And then I'll continue on my way towards Sturgis and towards 1,000 mile mark in Albert Lee, Minnesota. Okay. I'll see you around on the next stop.
So yeah, I find it's like important to time yourself so you have enough time, so you're not stressing out and hurrying and rushing and I don't know what, like that. Like I hate that in life in general. Like nothing is so important that you would have to rush, right? Like I mean, there could be a situation here and there, but like come on, most of the time, like keep your mind cool, chill, keep going. So yeah, it was like sun just coming up, super nice out. I think it was like 6:30 in the morning. So by then I was on the road for 3 hours already. I've done like close to 400 kilometers. That's like what, 240 miles. And I was doing good. It's really amazing, like if you start really early in the morning, right?
Well, here we are.
You
It's
can,
daytime, about a quarter
by the
way
time you wake up, it's
into my trip.
great.
I've done about 400 kilometers, 240 miles. About to cross the border. So I'm gonna have a little stop, take a pee, have a smoke, and continue my way. Feeling strong, feeling good. We'll see how the day goes. Border stop. Traffic at the border.
The border went pretty fast. I went to Sarnia. Reaching Sarnia. On the way back I went to Detroit. It was a little more traffic, but it wasn't really bad either. There's this like cool bridges to go to the USA. They are everywhere. Like it's like 2 or 3 of them, if not more. Very nice. And the ride over the river, like super high bridge. And we hit the border on the other side. But the river is the border actually. Like, my GPS actually says, "Welcome to the USA." And I gotta say, like the road system in the USA, great. Interstates are like super fast. They travel like big distances. That's what these bikes are made for, like the Harleys, right? Like low RPMs, long distance haul.
Here we go.
Michigan.
My GPS said welcome.
every time you go to a new state, your GPS welcomes you. And they have like welcome spots off the highway also in every state. And these welcome centers, you can pick up maps or whatever, see what's happening in local places of interest. I like to travel the States. You see a lot more per traveled kilometer or a mile than you do in Canada. Canada is like vast, nothing, like highway, I don't know what, like, yeah, tons of lakes, but also mosquitoes. And the distances between places are very far. It's pretty far in the States too, but still less than in Canada. If I travel in Canada, and then you do what you gotta do, right? As you're riding, I didn't quite feel like stopping for a smoke. So I gassed up, lit up my cigarette, and off I go. It was a little cigarillo action. I'm a kind of connoisseur. I don't smoke a lot, but here and there I smoke, and I like to smoke random tobacco, this, that, whatever.
We're 600 miles into it. No, sorry, 600 kilometers. Then 3 stops. Stop every 200 kilometers. The next stop is going to be halfway mark. I am in Lansing, Michigan, I believe. On my way towards next gas station is in Cobourg.
Some kind of neck protection. It was very hot, so I didn't really need it, but I find it still kind of nice if you don't get full blown neck, wind in your neck. And then me, I prefer some kind of open face helmet. I have a modular I took for this trip, but fuck, by the end of it, it was starting to kill me. Like, I didn't really like it too much. It's nice to be able to open it and stuff. But when you open it like that, fucking thing is too much, like up there, like in the wind. Especially, I'm talking highway speeds, right? Like it's different if you do like regular roads or whatever. Yeah, sure, you can wear whatever on the regular road. But when you're doing highway speeds all the time for the whole day, you want to be kind of comfortable. Like, and the bobbing of the head will definitely make your neck tight. Then what I find also, like the regular sunglasses don't really work so well because you get pressure points and they create, like, I don't know, over long periods of time it's a compression, right? And it gives you a headache 100% almost, at least it does to me. So for this trip I decided to wear goggles. Usually I don't have problems with sunglasses. I have riding sunglasses, and I don't have problem when I wear my 3/4 face helmet, what I usually wear. But just because it was a long trip and rain and all that stuff, and I had no room for 2 helmets, so I had to do what's best for the situation. And I did get a tiny little bit of rain later on, towards, I don't know, in the late afternoon. Enough to put my rain gear on. And then while I was putting the rain gear on, the rain already stopped. So it wasn't bad. But the roads were wet, so the rain gear was appreciated. Because when you pass a truck on the highway where everything is wet, like, you get a decent amount of water coming your way. I don't know why I'm looking up at the microphone. my setup was very comfortable. I was so comfortable, in fact. I was enjoying my ride.
I want to show you people here, like Indiana. Fucking disaster. The whole street's been like this.
This is Gary, Indiana.
Every second house is fucking torn down. Traffic lights are off. Holy fuck, buddy. Like Detroit, almost worse. To be honest, look at that. Every second fucking house is destroyed. Like what the fuck, and these are nice houses. We're taller, you know. We're taller. I guess the cops are so busy that when I busted the stop sign, they didn't even care. He was like, oh, you didn't see it. That's okay, where are you trying to get? Unbelievable. Supposed to be, this was a big steel town once upon a time. Gary, Indiana, back in 1959, when the Union was strong. Smokestack was born in day of night. This is fucking brutal. Unbelievable, buddy. See where our civilization is going. Into a complete motherfucking disaster.
I find these kind of places, they show where our civilization is going, right?
See if it's any better here on the main street.
Because it's not so sustainable, like all the businesses come and go.
Out right away.
And then people build the whole city around the business and then the business goes to hell. There's quite a few places like that in the States.
You know, hopefully it doesn't take me really hour and a half now to do like fucking 50 miles.
You see everything there. And this was one of those like mishaps, right? Like I missed a turn, then I had to go off the highway. I got kind of lost there in Gary, Indiana. I had to drive through the whole town. Or the road was closed or something, I don't really remember. I got lost. I busted the stop sign. The cop pulled me over. He said, oh, no, don't worry. I guess you didn't see it. And he let me go. He told me where to go to get out of there. The cop was smoking a cigarette in the car. It was all tattooed up. Pretty cool. Good experience. But it was kind of in an industrial zone where I busted the stop sign. And I had a lot to say. I made a big video with the other camera, but the other camera was shaking so much and hitting the windshield that like the video was completely unusable. And I had a lot of deep philosophical thoughts because these kind of places evoke it in me. Like I kind of like I mean, it's not nice to see, but it's like an eye-opener when you see like these run-down places and poverty and whatnot. And honestly, like I enjoy hanging out with like people that are poor too because they're so nice. Like I've been poor most of my life compared to like the world standards, right? Like, I wasn't missing anything. I can't complain. But I do work pretty hard for what I got. Exactly what I said over there. Just poor people and cops. But it got a little bit better by then, I guess. Yeah, there's some crazy places. And then like I mentioned before, right, like now I went through the town, it took me an hour and a half to do like 50 kilometers, maybe even more. While on the highway you're gunning it, right? So yeah, this challenge is not possible riding around town. but it is possible, very possible on the highway, no problem. Still not easy, but possible. Call this like area from Detroit to Gary, Indiana, Chicago and stuff, the Rust Belt. It's all the iron industry that's going down with all the big car manufacturers, right, in Detroit, and then steel mills in Gary, Indiana. It's bad. It's supposed to be wages are still pretty good, like in the steel mills. There are some mills still around. And I believe like the same for mining, right? Like not what it used to be, but the wages are still really good. And then I don't know, like younger people think they're all gonna hustle and make money, right? Like I don't know, like somebody's gonna have to move the bricks and somebody's gonna have to build the houses and fix them and the money still has to come from somewhere too, right? So I don't know. The economy, like it's a complicated thing. It's not so easy to understand all the different factors.
All these houses are completely fucked. Look at that one. Fucking the window is stuck. Careful on. Not bad. I know, like, fuck, man. Sounds like this. They barely made it work somehow. And then COVID hit and that was it. Now it's been freaking disaster everywhere, man.
That's another thing, right? Like in the States, like towns that were on the edge, barely like catching the ledge, right? After the COVID hit, like that was like nada, done, right? Even the few little businesses that were there closed down.
Not working traffic lights.
So honestly, if I compare pre-COVID to post-COVID. Pre-COVID in places like this, maybe you'd be scared you're gonna get shot, maybe, or there'd be some gang violence, maybe. Post-COVID, it's like depression. It's like nada. Nobody even wants to rob you anymore. I mean, I keep my nose out of trouble when I travel. I don't go places I shouldn't go. And I have a strong gut feeling, and I follow that.
Getting ready for Sturgis? Or not really?
Every time I saw a bike, I was like, oh, why aren't you going to Sturgis, man? And the closer we got, the more bikes, right? Then you get there, it's like the whole region is overflown.
700 stop signs, I swear to God. I think that's a strategy here in North America, these fucking stop signs. So the cops can spot you up, and for sure you're gonna spot one of these. For sure, 100%. They're everywhere, and they make no sense. The stop signs have fans. There's like a
that's another.
And the side roads. And the side roads have stop signs. Okay, I'm not the
Yeah, that was funny.
Say it's worse than Detroit, but it's damn near fucking about Gary, Indiana. I like to see places that are fucked up, like in a way. Kind of good to see where our fucking civilization is going. Okay, leave the rest for next time.
This is the time. Oh yeah, the straight highway forever. That was fun. And just straight forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, like as far as your eye will see. And I wanted to mention earlier too, like I wear the vest, right? Now I wear it too. I put some patches on now, so it's a little, maybe I turn around and show. But I wear these vests, I like them a lot. And the point is, like, when you put it over the jacket and close it up, right, like everything is tight, and then the wind doesn't like affect you so much on a motorcycle. And all those things add up, right? Like it's nothing if you go here to the bar, but like if you drive for like 20 hours, right, straight on the highway, every little bit helps. And whatever you have on the bike, right, it's got to be strapped like it's going to a hurricane. And then what I did for the seat, I took my old Harley seat and I...
Madison, Wisconsin or something like that. Holy A. It's not as hard as I thought, but it's not easy either. We've done now, what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We've done 1200 kilometers already. I have another 400 to go. I'm pretty sure I'll make it. Probably another a good 4 hours. So maybe I make it there by 9 o'clock. Which is not bad at all. Not bad at all, as long as there's no more problems. I have some problems. My freaking speedometer stops working occasionally. I have to stop and turn off the bike and turn it back on. But I'm giving it my all. Okay. I'll report back next time around. On my next stop, maybe a bit along the way.
Alright, I was 1200 kilometers into it, my speedo. I got into some rain, like I mentioned before. Here in the reflection of the windshield you can see I'm wearing actually rain gear. And then I guess that, like, I don't know, made some short happen or something and my speedo would stop working from time to time. In fact, later I found there was one wire that was cut and was, I guess, the ground wire, because it was still somehow grounding for most of the time, but occasionally went out. But then later I found the wire, I fixed it, and it was all good. But I demonstrated here what I had to do. I would, just while riding, I would clutch it, turn off the bike, turn it back on with the key, right? And then it would be okay. Most of the time.
Okay.
But it happened quite often actually. The last
230 kilometers, 100 and...
It screwed me up a bit.
What was it? I don't know. 140 miles.
So I had about 140 miles to go. Had a little cigarillo.
So that's it, my friends. 1,000 miles in one go.
And then my original destination, right, was Albert Lee. But then because I had problems with the tachometer, I had to push forward to the next little town. And in one way, lucky I did, because I met super awesome dudes over there. I met this riding club, Twos in 217. 217 is the area code for Illinois, right? And they're from Illinois. And I met them there in Blue Earth. At the Jolly Green Giant of all places. The guys were just like people from my town where I grew up. I love them. They're like my brothers. I went to visit them later a couple times. We did another trip together. I might make another video about it. It was fun. Let me tell you, a lot of fun. And the riding in Sturgis, right? Like everybody's like, oh yeah, the biggest motorcycle rally. But oh my god, like the whole area there is so amazing. Out of this world. So, had a little break there. That was getting like towards the evening, you see, like the light is changing already. But I was holding up really good. I wasn't tired at all. I was feeling great. Because I was like doing something I really like to do, right? And I can do things I like to do like forever. I can stay up a couple days. So that was my old Harley seat, right? And I just stapled some sheepskin on from the front. And on the back I just put some kind of elastic over it. And it just held like it was great. And super comfy. Super comfy. Zero pain. Because usually I run a solo seat. See, it was getting cold. It was very hot before. It was in the 30s the whole time. So I took some gear off. I only had the jacket over my shirt. And my jacket has vents everywhere. So it's a very nice jacket. I like it.
Oh my god.
But
I
then
can't believe it.
starting to get
That's
cold.
it.
I closed up the vents.
I've done over 1,000 miles. I went to one extra town just to make sure, because I had problems with the speedo and I wanted to make sure I have enough kilometers on my speedo. I made it! Okay, we're getting the last gas.
And then what do you know? There was only one pump on that whole pump station. And that pump had a broken button, exactly that one button that you had to press to select, like, I don't know, debit or whatever. So I couldn't press the debit button, I was going nuts, and the pump was closed already, but like, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was the last pump, I would have been done. It took me then another half an hour or more, like, to deal with it. I'll find the next pump, have a smoke or whatever, like, fuck. I was losing it.
Oh, you fucking thing on. The gas station is gonna give me some food. See? Motherfucker. We shall go.
I just rode to another pump on the same station, right? I saw they were all like
Not working either.
working.
I'm a
I
fucking
think I
neighbor.
even made another attempt at that one there.
Unbelievable.
Some Balkan swear words in there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The last gas pump, it doesn't work. I have to find another gas station. Fucking 11 in the evening. Great. Can't wait.
So because of my speedo towards the end and all the like little stops I had to make, I lost 2 hours actually. Like I thought I'm gonna finish by 9 o'clock in the evening, which would be perfect, like I would finish just as it gets dark, right? It took me until 11. So little things like that could screw you potentially up, right? Like, I mean, I still had some leeway, not very much. That one like mechanical issue or something like that, and where you spend like a couple hours fixing it, right? Maybe you can get away with one if you're doing mostly highway riding. But I was ready for everything, man. I had like the whole tool set with me. I had spark plugs, I had everything. And I did actually fix my rear brake while in Sturgis. My rear brake kind of stopped working, and I made a new gasket for the reservoir. Because I have these custom controls on my bike, like I can't find anywhere no parts for it, like fuck. That's a shitty thing when you have an older bike like with some custom parts. Fine. Like a rebuild kit for that, like non-existent. But the bike runs amazing. Like it's an old bike, right? Like almost 30 years old. I ran it across the whole continent. I did 10,000 kilometers in 14 days. Like literally most of the days I would do like 1,000 kilometers a day. Then there was some days where we did a little less. But yeah,
Okay,
I found the last one.
Another gas station.
Happy like a lark. Finally done. So I had to take a picture of the last receipt, right? Have the time on there to prove I did it in under 24 hours. It took me 19 hours or something like that. I would have done it in 17 maybe. I don't know. If I didn't have any trouble whatsoever. I'll see next time I'm gonna attempt with my newer bike. I have a road glide now. And the road glide glides through the wind. No problem. And I'll see. I might do another attempt just to see the difference if I can make it faster. But I don't want to rush too much, right? Like I don't want to rush. Like I want to make it still enjoyable. I want to still take a break when I take a break. And enjoy the riding, right? Like that's what it's all about. Like I enjoy the riding. Like I don't care. Like now I enjoy the highway riding a lot too. I don't care. Like it's nice. Because you're in the zone, in the wind, flying. And you eat the miles. In the States you eat the miles, man. So I know like I didn't really show much scenery like in this video, right? Like this was more like about my 1,000 miles to Sturgis. Not to Sturgis, 1,000 mile challenge. I have a lot of videos from the whole like 10 days at Sturgis, but that's another story. It was epic. All the stuff I've seen there, oh my god, like I didn't even know all the stuff is there. Yeah, that's all. Pretty epic, I gotta say. Oh my god, come on. Okay, the picture of the last last receipt. Oh my god, I kinda gotta take a pee, but I'll try to last to the end of the video. Almost there, almost there. I can pause it for a second. Okay, that was the last receipt put away in a Ziploc baggie.
Done. Getting ready to go to Sturgis.
That was the next day. My new friends. In the morning. The Jolly Green Giant. Had a quick smoke. Off we go. At that point, I kind of started to realize that my 30-year-old Harley, I mean, I could keep up with the brand new ones, but honestly, like, I was pushing it. And as you can see, my windshield wasn't taking the 90-mile-per-hour highway runs, so I had to abort that situation. I took the windshield off after a while. I don't know. My RPMs are almost in 4,000. Fifth gear. That's my top gear on that bike. While they all have 620, right? That was a little detour we had to take on a regular road. Doesn't matter. They're still getting it 90 miles an hour, full on. Bike was flying. My actual speedo on the bike doesn't really work. That's why I have one extra one up there. I added that one, that's like a GPS speedometer. But you can see the RPMs on the bottom. If you know anything about Harleys, you can see I'm in the 4,000 at least. And it red lines at 5, right? This bike. Well, needless to say, we made it to Sturgis. I had a lot of fun. Exactly what I needed this year. So, that said, I hope you guys enjoyed through my video. I kinda did. It was a lot of fun. I encourage anybody in decent health to attempt. If you ride a motorcycle, it's quite a thing. And then once you do 1,000 miles, everything is so much closer, like it's unbelievable. Like I go for like a 200 kilometer run. It's nothing, it's like an afternoon thing, right? Like, and I did more riding after, like I went all over the States again, and I had a lot of fun. So, thanks for joining me. If you like it, maybe subscribe. If you don't have to. I don't know if I'll make any more videos. I might, just for fun and memory. And if somebody finds it inspiring, thumbs up. Thanks. I'll see you around, maybe.